Sounds good. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Come on in. Hello, James. How are you, darling? Who else is in here? Say hi. Say hi in the chitty chat. Chit chat. Let me get this off the screen so I stop looking at myself in the past. All right. I think that's it. I think I got it. All right, let's talk about, let me get these on so I can see. I wanted to go over something. A little bit deeper of a look at something about the self. Again, to review, we at this channel that I put out, my work is all about self-awareness, all about self-discovery, all about how you, the singularity, the fractal is relating to creation. And in that, we find things and we share these findings from an intellectual point of view of offering, as light bearers do, such in mannerisms. Every day they are being their authentic, regardless. They are giving wisdom of the of beyond polarity, of beyond human, or they're just given the ideas of intelligence as a human. It matters not. So here's what I want you to look at in the nature of yourself. I'm sitting here watching myself on the screen here, and I have a question about the way I'm behaving. My voice, my inflection, my tone, my stuttering a little bit, trying to search for the words. Am I really trying? That's all debate going up here, right? That's all up here. I have a little self that immediately views me and starts to measure and compare that self in its proper. And the proper, of course, is a comparison to his own belief. So am I acting proper comparing to what I perceive proper to be? Because there is no standardization of proper. There is no way for you to be. You can't be anything matched outside. Impossible. You can emulate it. You can image it. You can mock it. You can mimic it. But what you can't do is be other than you. Now, here's the work. The work is it you or is it Memorex? Right? Is it the authentic you or is it the Memorex of you? Is it the image that you found in time to create as a posture of moving forward and seeking that mindful, purposed idea of that projection, seeking that acceptance, validation? That's our work. So we want to understand something that I wrote there today. I found something very good today when I was musing with my funny little honey, my Tommy Jean. When I was musing with him, we came up with a word. You know, when I start to work, these words just come in because I'm not blocking the intelligence of creation with my fortitude of I can think it right. Because I've humbled my sweet ass enough to know that I don't know shit. I know a whole lot about human, but I don't know shit about creation. So I have to humble myself to that and allow creation to show me some things. So culture was a word that came up. And in this, it references or in regards to the idea of, hello, True. What are you drinking? I'm sorry, it was a Chobani probiotic. There you go. Yummy, strawberry. No, berry mixed. Anyways, so the word culture came up in reference to the idea of the nature of the self. And I regarded it to my witchcraft. It came into me as that. Because when things start out with me, and this is my journey, so don't compare it to yours, just take it as an offering and then see what you can do with it with your own intelligence. I started out my witch journey, as most things, as image. Because at the time, it wasn't image, it was truth. But later on, it's discovered its image, and that's part of our own evolution. That's why we act upon a self, and then when the self is realized as an image, you release that posture and you evolve and allow more vibration and frequency in, and your intelligence grows as you mature in your own isness. So, the witch is not right or wrong, it was an expression. But then I realized today, when I'm walking around with Tommy, and I still do my witchcraft, I do my moon water, I do some spells, I do some conjuring, I do some commune, good stuff with my witchcraft. Love it, right? But as it matured, I realized it was postures or images or selves of wanting to be something other than I am. Now, why did I have those ideas? Why did I bring Esmeralda in and channel her for some time? And then she taught me how to cook and stuff when I was channeling Esmeralda. Well, I still channel her now and again, but and of course I grabbed it because it was an identity and it felt fucking good. And of course I'm seduced by identity because it's all I know as a cycled idea to cover up the emptiness, to feel good about myself through the posture of externalism. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch my fucking channel. Watch, do yourself a favor, binge watch anything on my channel for a couple of days and you'll find out what I'm talking about. It'll come up, it'll be on the next video. You'll vibrate that idea to make it congruent. You don't need to effort that. Okay. So this idea of the witch just had this sinking idea, not sinking as in bad or sinking as in loss. It sunk into the parts of me. So way deep down inside of my isness, I felt the witch. Now the witch is the interpretation up here, but I followed it down to the vibration of culture is the word that I got. The culture of me. I want to make sure I'm saying that right. The culture of me. So it's a part of my nature, my persona. See, the persona is a wonderful idea when you use it as a tool in comparison to the personality. The personality is a fractal. The persona is an isness. Persona doesn't look at itself as anything but itself, and it doesn't even look at itself because it has no reason to look at itself other than, well, I don't even know if it can look at itself without a observer, a fractal, a separated self, because it only knows itself as the all. Right? So it doesn't have any kind of inkling about seeing itself. But we use that tools because we're separated, so we create the observer and observe ourselves. And I was observing this culture in me, and I was like, there's where it comes from. It might be witch up here when it reaches the community of my mind, this vibrational self that has a culture of salt. And I mean like salt of the earth. I mean earthen idea, 3D, dense, thick earth vibration is the best way I can describe that culture. It might manifest in the idea of, what we call druids, witches, warlocks, magicians, wizards, something that has a communion with the planet Earth, the moons, and things like that. So that was a cultural part of me. And that gave an understanding of my attraction towards wisdom. Now, how I got to this wisdom better be irrelevant. I can't mark the tracks and then judge them. If I do, I'm obtuse to myself. I'm ridiculing how I got to my own wisdom. Now, that's easy because it's a seduction of the mind, especially when you've had abused like myself. Now, less than reinforced by society and family and culture that I'm not enough. And what I do is one big mistake after another, la-di-da-di, pity party, everybody. But I understood that my mind takes me in those directions. So I had to be courageous and willing to accept and humble to understand this and look at the intelligence behind that culture. And that gave me more of a connection with myself. My last day has been phenomenal, yesterday and today. Phenomenal insight to myself. Another layer cleared out, another wall of vibrational dependencies, vibrational conditionings, kicking my own ass and just raging in the depths of my, why the fuck did I come here to do this? And it's in the nature of me. Somewhere I like to go into species that are evolving. And the challenging one was obviously humanity and me and you and Mr. Magoo and all of us chose this badassery for whatever reason that is unreasonable, truly to us, that we can conjure up in reason. And I come up with an idea to develop my culture, to become more of an isness. And that's a long-term thing. You know, this isn't gratitude in the moment, which the human seeks, instant gratification, credit cards, buy now, pay later. I want it now. Like Veruca Salt, I want it now, daddy, now. You know, that kind of shit. So there was some relevance to that insight today. And I can't get an insight with my thinking mind. You guys get your insight from your intelligent mind, the nature of yourself, the core. So I would recommend leaving your thinking mind as much as you can to the wayside. And when it thinks, it's usually reacting. And if you can notice the reaction has a foundation, a birthing point, then you're going to start recognizing your own beliefs. And you know me, if you've watched me before, I'm going to talk you to fucking death about your identities so you can start recognizing them, and you're the only one who can take them down. Remember, you're an eternal, unconditional God, unjudged. We did not lose our Godship. We are not opposed to anything. There is nothing opposed to us. We are one and all in an unconditional, loving idea of forever. And how we create our realities is subjective to each person experiencing their own bubble, their own little tiny floating bubble of isness. And the bombardment of light is where you're looking at and experiencing yourself as you float eternal in the idea of manifesting frequency, shifting it to a reality and having the experience of yourself forever. And this is what we do. So the relevance of culture was staggering for me. Again, it doesn't have the tangibles that give it, look what it can do for you. Look how smart you are. Look what you can earn from this. How can this pay off? What can we do with it? That's the cyclic mind trying to produce itself in an image, because we were produced in an image. You were compared from day one. You were compared in good mannerisms and negative mannerisms. Your actions were comparable to someone else. If you weren't wrong, you should be like this. This is the right way, la-di-da-di, everyone. And you were also different and unique, and you were compared. And that stirs the idea of the emptiness into grabbing that externalism and feeling that I'm not God and filling in with identity, emotional status, the seduction drug that we all find every day in our daily lives that we grab and make and put around us and say, look, here's something funny. Oh my God, look at this. What about this? And we start to create a world in the now. And that's it. That's it. So the culture of you can find alien species in there. If you have an affinity towards an aquatic race or an affinity towards the leviathans of our planet, the affinity towards reptilians, you can find that. But I caution you, as an idea of my own journey, in other words, experiencing my own ideas of grabbing those as identity. You don't want to parade yourself around. You're not a goddamn parade. You don't need to put yourself on a soapbox of acceptance. Don't put yourself out there. You're enough in the status of your own existence. Without this one, that's you, and who you. Without that, nothing. Fucking nothing. Because one is all. Without one, there is no all. We're inseparable because we're only one from an infinite number of truths. The journey is to uncover the truths that keep you shaded and veiled from the nature of yourself, the natural self, the cultures of yourself, the birthing parts that allow you to be this in the moment without education, without guidance, without apology, without hesitation. The isness of you birthing and saying, fucking A, I am, right? And I've been through 1,000 selves shaving these motherfuckers off of me, but with greatness, not regret, with forging ideas of courage to find out. My nemesis is abundance. I have issues with money, and I go up and down and up and down and up and down, and I keep driving to find that. Because a God doesn't covet money, abundance. A God creates its world effortlessly, masterfully, vibrating light into different frequencies, shifting them and making them form in the ideas, as all on the other side of those little reflective things that you see are forming their realities, creating the one and all eternally in the ever-changing manifestations of reality. How can I manage that with this fucking mind? This mind, this child. I can't. So anyways, I humble myself to those identities. I let go of them. I take them down and I allow myself to birth and be so I can discover that. And that which has ties all the way down to the best I can call is the salt of the earth. And how we manifest that base frequency, that vibration that has chock full, it's packed with potential. And each of us who engage in that culture and make it our own start to birth, and we come up with garden witches, and we come up with gray witches, and we come up with druids, and we come up with magicians, and we come up with wands, and we come up with spells, and we come up with these things to manifest and create our realities. And none of them are fake. None are fake. They're only a relationship. They're an interpretation. They're the reflection so you may know yourself as a creator. Not in the finites of definition of your own persona, that's part of it, but to know what's possible, that you get to witness every day the beauty of reality, whether it is scorned in negativity or birthed in the joys of positivity, is relevant, is that you are a participant of existence, showing you are worth the choice that was given unto thee from whomever chose your sweet ass to be one of the I ams. And it was you. How fucking awesome are we? What a fucking ride. What an excruciating, blissful ride if you dive into it. If you stay up here topside is the top of you, the fractal outside of you, go into the core of you and start to see the game from the intelligence point. You know how you know your topside? If you're cycling the feelings. If you're every day somewhere, you're feeling the same way. And I'm not talking about feeling good and feeling bad. I'm talking about how you feel about the relationship of reality in every moment, and look for the cycles in there. How many times do you make the same behavioral choices through fear, through anxiety, through hope, through need, through want, through desire, through purpose, through intention? And watch your life cycle. Because what you put out is what you get back. And if you keep putting out the same ideas, doldrums over and over again, then you are going to emphatically live a life of polarity. And if the life of polarity is mainly positive, by all means, keep going positive. If the life of polarity is negative, by all means, keep going and being negative. But you have a choice. You do. You have a choice because you're here, and this channel offers awareness of the observatory self-created, and that observatory self can spot and see your own structures that you put into place. And if you are willing to mature yourself as an evolutionist and not a human emotion, then you can partake in a deconstruction of a fractal and experiencing a birthing of an I am, and you will bear witness to your own greatness. I fucking guarantee that. So, there you go. That was good, Sita. Yes. All right, guys. I have some potatoes and onions cooking, and I mix that with my tacos. And they're almost up. So I wanted to get that out to you. And I wanted to be more okay with me by expressing a truth. And I'm expressing it to the best of my ability without having a purpose behind it. Because the light I bear is authentic, and the shades I place on it are my conditions. And if I recognize my own shadings, my replacement of veils, my continuation of the conditioning self, then that's on me. And I can make different choices. So in order to make different choices, I journey. I journey because I am a master, creator of my own reality. And you are the same. All right, guys, I want to say thank you once again. Down at the link is my email or my website. There's a donation link. Don't hesitate. Any questions about the class, the workshop coming up in September, there's a part on the website for that as well. I think there's a link. So check those out. Go rock your reality. I love you, and you deserve it. Everything you get, take it. Love to all.